GAW. We'll be broadcasting live today on the radio at 1398.1 FM. And don't forget, the entire video will be presented in the next night, tonight, tomorrow, on Gardner Educational TV right here on cable. So we'll switch now to Mike Richard, Patty Bergstrom, our play-by-play announcers for today.
Happy Parade Day in the city that we love. So happy to be here with all of you. Glory to Gardner. I can hear the opening division, the Gardner Police Department motorcycles, and they'll be right along soon. Honored to be here with Mike Richard.
Thank you, Patty. Yes, it's great to be back here in Gardner. We can hear the sirens in the background giving us the set for the parade today. Just to clear up a couple of misconceptions, people always say, what do you mean Gardner's 100 years old? We had a parade a couple of years ago for the 225th. As probably a lot of you do know, Gardner was incorporated as a town back in 1785 on June 27th of that year. It became a city 100 years ago on January 1st, 1923, when it became a cityhood as opposed to a township. Chester Pearson was the first mayor of Gardner. We had our first city council in play that year, and we've been a city since 1923, so it's great to be back here in Gardner today and welcoming a new generation of people to Gardner as well for the start of this parade. Kicking off the parade are the lead vehicles, the Gardner Police Department motorcycles, as well as the Gardner Police and local police departments joining in with us today as well. Welcoming through the Toy Town, Winchendon. Our friends from the southwest, Templeton, and from the east, Westminster. Let's not forget our friends from Ashburnham to the north. And finally, the police department from the city of Fitchburg.
I'm sure you're going to be a wonderful audience today. Let's make every person in this city happy to be here. Let's make every parade participant proud of their contribution. Let's make every visitor feel like a very special guest.
Approaching us now is the Detachment 340 Strike Eagle Honor Guard. The Strike Eagles Honor Guard is dedicated to displaying the honor of the United States Air Force, showcasing the precision and excellence of Detachment 340 cadets. All members of the Honor Guard are college students enrolled in the Air Force Reserve Officer Training Corps and attend either Worcester Polytech or crosstown universities. And now we welcome our Gardner fire departments as well as local fire departments. In addition to our Gardner fire departments, let's welcome the other departments who are here joining us today. The rescue truck from Air Mass. The Toy Town Fire Rescue from nearby Winchendon. Here comes Athol, and behind Athol, Templeton. The Gardner Fire Department Honor Guard with members of SAFE, that's Student Awareness of Fire Education. The grant program provides resources for fire departments to teach fire safety education in schools. And of course, Mass Forest Fire Chief Control with Smokey the Bear. Hey, Smokey. It's good to see a few vintage trucks also in our parade. Here's the Peter Sam truck. Next we have the engine from the town of Phillipston. And we have former Chief Neil Erickson making his way by us. Also here today, the town of Ashby. Next, all the way from the town of Pepperell with Engine 1 today. Engine 5 from Lunenburg. And good to see reps from my old hometown, Hubbardston, here today. And bringing up the rear, the town of Ashburnham and Westminster. Just an interesting tidbit, riding on one of the Gardner fire trucks was Juan Pydad, who is the husband of Alicia Pierce Pydad and his 3 sons. Significance there is that this is one of 6 generations of Gardner residents of the same family that have marched in the Gardner parades over the last 75 years. Their great-great-great-grandfather, Harlan Pierce, marched as a horn player and band director in the Gardner American Legion Drum and Bugle Corps in the 40s, as well as with the Simplex Drum and Bugle Corps. Harlan's youngest son, Walter Bud Pierce, played bass drum in the Simplex Corps and later marched with the Gardner VFW. His oldest son, Charles Pierce, marched in the 1946 World War II Veterans Parade. Then Charles' children, Albert Pierce and Evelyn Torigny Pierce, marched in the Sacred Heart School Band in the late 50s. Evelyn's daughter, Jennifer Torigny Russell, was drum major of the Gardner High Band in the early 90s. Evelyn's granddaughters, Becca and Maddie Lashua, both marched with the Gardner High Band. And now back to Albert, the grandson of Harlan, whose great-grandfather to Julian, Bennett, and Marcos, who are also part of the fire department riding in the truck today. 6 generations of Gardnerites marching in Gardner parades. That's quite an honor.
As we're waiting for the next entry, may I read you a letter from the White House. Congratulations to the City of Gardner on your 100th anniversary. The places we are from are the places that shape us, climb into our hearts, and never leave us. Just as our hometowns play a role in making us who we are, communities like Gardner help make our nation what it is. Even during the darkest days, big cities and small towns alike have reminded us of the importance of coming together to lift each other up and of leaving no one behind. As we celebrate this anniversary, may you find pride in your rich history, and may you serve as a welcoming place for many more generations to come to call home. Signed, the President. Thank you very much. We also received a flag that was flown over the Capitol last week from Senator Markey, and the flag is flying over City Hall now in celebration of our 100th anniversary. It is nice to have friends in high places, isn't it?
Well, you couldn't ask for a better day here in Gardner for today's parade. The weatherman certainly cooperated.
And with the fire departments here from 10 communities, I'm hoping there's no fires anywhere else.
Yeah, they got through here pretty quickly. I'm hoping that they weren't on their way to something through here, but hopefully all is good. Jaguar to get moving. You'll be able to edit this. this, right? I'm going to have to cut out dead air? Yeah.
Yeah. And I figured I'd let you.
I'm getting text left. I'm really text left, right?
It takes a lot of cooperation to put on an event like this. We'd like to thank our sponsors, GFA Federal Credit Union for being our major sponsor, Fidelity Bank for being a major sponsor, Price Chopper, Gardner Redevelopment Authority, and Boucher Funeral Home, and then a lot of friends of Gardner, Anthony's Liquor Store, Community Health Connections, Concrete Solutions, Gardner Square 2, Holy Family Academy, Ed and Elaine Jandris, John's Sport Shop, Elizabeth Kazinskis for City Council, Mac Prototype, Gardner Square 2, Moon Hill, did I say Holy Family? Nicholson for Mayor, Salvador Auto Dealership, Williams Restaurant, John Zlotnick for State Rep. Thank you to all of our sponsors. Today we have about 72 units in the parade. We have more than 1,000 people marching. There will be 6 or 8 marching bands and just about every group that you can think of in this community. We are so grateful for everyone's participation and for your attendance today as we celebrate. Glory to Gardner.
And how about a shout out to the Gardner High Class of 1973 that are here today celebrating their 50th class reunion.
Fabulous 50.
Yep, you don't look bad at all for your age. That's a good turnout.
Someone just said it only gets better. People have come from across the country to attend their reunion and change their flights to be with us today. So we're really honored to have this class here, and that's my class, Gardner High 1973. Woo-woo!
I only hope I can look as good as you when I celebrate my 50th class reunion next year. Oh, we do, huh? It'd be nice if it sped up a little bit. Get the guy in the Jaguar to get moving.
I'm from Gardner, couldn't be prouder. I'm from Gardner, couldn't be prouder. We'll shout a little louder. I think we brought the next unit down the street. Rounding the corner is our next unit.
This is the Gardner Fire Department Honor Guard with members of SAFE. That acronym SAFE stands for Student Awareness of Fire Education. The SAFE grant program provides resources for fire departments to teach fire safety education in the schools. Welcome along to our SAFE program.
Behind the Safe program is our Grand Marshal, Ed Adder, riding in a 1951 Jaguar XK120 owned by Bob Richard. Ed Adder is a military veteran and first lieutenant in the Air Force and staff finance officer. He was president of the Board of Colonial Cooperative for 48 years and on the board for 55 years. He started the local Millers River chapter of Trouts Unlimited and helped to get a cleaner Millers River. He is probably best known for Adder's Market, a family-owned store known for their great meats and homegrown apples from their farm in Temple, New Hampshire. Ed has always been a big supporter of the youth in the area, Boy Scouts, Girl Scouts, many sports leagues. He has been humble to keep his support low-key and in the background. He's been involved in Camp Collier and recently a big supporter. Hi, Ed. Thank you. Recently a big supporter of Boys and Girls Club of Gardner. He was awarded the Citizen of the Year by the Greater Gardner Chamber of Commerce. Let's hear it for Mr. Ed Adder, Grand Marshal.
And that's my brother driving the car. He always got the best toys in our family. Coming along, we have members of Gardner's current political scene with City Council President Elizabeth Lizzie Kaczynskis, State Representative John Zlotnick, and Mayor Michael Nicholson. Right along behind, former Mayor Charlie Manka, Council President Jim Walsh, and Ron and former Council President Jim Walsh, they're going back too fast, but I'm...
Alec Durnalowitz, Dana Heath, Karen Hardorn, George Tyros. Is the school committee?
And school committee members Rachel Cormier, Shannon Ward Layton, Bob Schwartz, and Jen Pellivan. Thank you, Jim.
Gardner has had 20 mayors in its 100-year history. 8 of our mayors are still living.
And Paul DiPaolo, the Governor's Council. Former mayors of Gardner, Steve Erickson,
Yay, Steve!
who was in the corner office 50 years ago this fall. And in the back seat, Alan Agnelli, also former mayor. And driving that vehicle, the legendary Alan Durnalowitz.
Next, we have the Worcester County Sheriff, Lou Evangelitis. Yay! Lou is always an amazing supporter of our community and does so much for us. We are so grateful to have you here today, Lou. Thank you. And he never gets lost in the crowd.
Next up, an automobile from the American Legion Post 129. 4 American Legion members from Post 129 Gardner, located on Elm Street.
Accompanying them is Boy Scout Troop 6. Known as Scouts BSA, this troop is sponsored by the American Legion 129. Thank you.
The Montechusett Veterans Outreach Center minivan, headquartered on Central Street in Gardner. Veterans Outreach Center is a private nonprofit agency serving veterans and their families throughout North Central Mass. They provide services to veterans regardless of discharge status, as well as reservists with no federal activation. Coming along right now are our centenarians. Along with City of Gardner's 100th celebration, there are several residents of the city marking their 100th birthday this year. We're thrilled to have with us today in the first car, centenarian Louise Murphy.
Happy birthday to you.
And in the next car, another centenarian, Dorothy DeGrace.
Dottie, as she likes to be called, happy birthday to you, hon. Looking fabulous.
Walking next in the parade is the Gardner Middle School band and chorus students. Representing the Gardner Middle School music program. They are led by band director Jack Mellish and chorus director Gianni DeVilli.
And next, the Gardner High School Wildcat Marching Band, playing my absolute favorite song. Ready?
The Wildcat Marching Band, known as the Pride in Class, is comprised of 38 students proudly rebuilding after the mayor and superintendent reinstated the elementary school band feeder program a couple of years ago. The band is under the direction of Douglas Lepisto, with color guard instructors Danny Chavez and Jack Valentin, and also assistant instructor Gardner Middle School band director Jack Mellish. Student leaders include drum majors Jonathan Hastings and Lydia Brune, color guard captain Felicity Kalel, percussion captains Andy Lucier and Ben Hefner. The band represents Gardner High at many performances each school year, holds fall and winter spring concerts, and takes part in local parades.
And next we have the Gardner High School football team. Go team! All right. The Wildcat football team has represented Gardner High since 1893, when the first football squad debuted, making this year their 130th. The Gardner High team is coached by Sean Whittle.
Next up, we have the GFA Federal Credit Union. The GFA at 229 Parker Street is proud to be the only remaining financial institution founded in the city of Gardner. They're proud to support Gardner for the last 86 years and are looking forward to many more. GFA is one of our Centennial celebration sponsors. Thank you, GFA.
GFA is actually our lead sponsor, and we're so grateful that they support everything that happens in this city. Thank you, GFA.
Coming up, we have an antique horse-drawn carriage from the Boucher Funeral Home. Located on Nichols Street in Gardner, Boucher has served the greater Gardner community since 1947. The funeral home recently entered its third generation of Boucher family ownership, treating every family as their own. In the parade, they have an antique funeral carriage and several employees. Massachusetts Suicide Prevention Task Force in their own antique car. We all have a part in keeping people safe and can help prevent suicide in our community. This task force, sponsored by Hayward Healthcare and the Commonwealth of Mass Department of Health, provides education, training, and resources to help those struggling with their mental health.
Next is the Gardner Senior Center, located at 294 Pleasant Street, providing services and programs to Gardner residents, education and information on meeting the needs of seniors in our community, and coordinating lots of services for the elderly.
Also passing by was the AARP, Gardner City, Chair City chapter of the AARP, leading a revolution in a way people view and live life after 50. AARP sponsors community projects, hosts events, and engages speakers. The AARP meets at the Gardner Senior Center at 294 Pleasant Street on the third Wednesday of every month.
And next is Gamma, Gardner Athol Area Mental Health Association, located at 208 Coleman Street in Gardner. The group is comprised of employees, volunteers, and individuals in the programs to represent Gamma across all of its service offerings. In the truck is Peyton, the loyal Leonberger breed of dog. On the trailer are two of the goats that reside at the Carly Dollhouse and Roots at Evergreen Grove. Nice. Look at those goats. Nice.
Next up, we have the Holy Family Academy, which celebrates over 100 years of Catholic education in Gardner. Forged by uniting two great schools, Holy Rosary and Sacred Heart, Holy Family Academy proudly serves pre-K through 8th grade students and their families of the greater Gardner area. Holy Family Academy is one of our Centennial celebration sponsors.
Next is John Zlotnick, Committee to elect John Zlotnick. State Representative John Zlotnick had represented this community for well over a decade. He's now running for State Senate for the Worcester and Hampshire District. John is a lifelong Gardner resident and one of our Centennial celebration sponsors. Thank you to John Zlotnick.
Kicking off our third division, Division 3, is the Aleppo Shriners of Wilmington, Mass. Their mission is to support what has become known as the world's greatest philanthropy, Shriners Hospitals for Children, which is often called the heart and soul of the shrine. Members or nobles are shrine masons and are active in our many units, 3 of which you'll see today. The Shriners Clowns, the Motor Patrol, and the Oriental Band are groups that parade locally to keep communities aware of its fun, fellowship, and fraternity. Welcome to Gardner, the Aleppo Shriners.
Bring in the clowns.
Merry Christmas, everybody.
Christmas to you too, Clowny.
Great to have all of the Shriners here today from Wilmington, Mass. And as we mentioned, the Shriners brought down with them today their Oriental Band, their Shriners Clowns. What we have coming through right now, their Motor Patrol, as well as the Shrine Club's mini fire trucks, and finally the hospital van.
Coming after the Shriners is Gardner Square 2. Gardner Square 2 is one of our Centennial sponsors. They're the downtown organization responsible for 2 festivals and the Christmas tree lighting and a lot of other things that go on in our fabulous downtown.
Kicking off our Square 2 section is John's Sports Shop. John's Sports Shop is celebrating their 60th year on October 1st of this year. They're helping to celebrate the only all-female Boy Scout troop in the area. And in the John Sports Shop car, walking along, Barbara and Ann LeBlanc, and riding in the 1966 Chrysler Newport, Alan LeBlanc and Jean LeBlanc. Next up is our Mustang convertible, representing the Paramount Cafe. Paramount has been located at 46 Main Street and has served Gardner for an amazing 87 years. First opened in 1935 by George and Betsy Exarchos, they passed down to Stephen Mary Moutsos and is presently run by the 3rd generation husband-wife team of Peter and Pat Moussos. Peter and Pat would like to thank all of their patrons, and we want to thank them for their many kindnesses they've shown over the years.
Next up in this fabulous 1931 Model A Ford truck is the Velvet Goose, owned by me and located at 24 Main Street. We're celebrating 36 years of serving our customers and giving back to our community. Our tagline is "Get all goosed up," and I love seeing so many of you all goosed up today.
Coming through now is the St. Paul's Episcopal Church with their antique car. St. Paul's is an opening and welcoming church in the Episcopal tradition. Located in a historic 79 Cross Street building, the congregation is committed to outreach in the community through our community garden, laundry program, and more. They also have a vibrant church group and youth group, and all are welcome. Please join them for their Harvest Festival on October 21st, St. Paul's Episcopal Church.
Next is Boy Scout Troop 4, Holy Spirit. The float is one of the moth fleet from Henry Sheldrick's flotilla. Sheldrick was a longtime scout leader in Gardner and instrumental in the formation of Camp Collier. Thank you, Boy Scout Troop 4.
Don't forget to do a good turn daily. Next up is the Haywood Wakefield Commons and Wood Ambulance collaborative effort, Then and Now. Wood's Ambulance and Haywood Wakefield Commons Assisted Living at 50 Pine Street have been teaming up for over a decade to provide fun off-campus opportunities for Haywood Wakefield Commons residents. With Wood's Ambulance entering its 70th year of service in Gardner and Haywood Wakefield Commons celebrating its 12th anniversary, the collaboration between the two is stronger than ever. Today, residents, staff, and volunteers from Haywood Wakefield Commons are once again transported and supported by Woods Ambulance in celebration of Gardner, Then and Now.
Next up, Calvin Brooks, Committee to elect Calvin Brooks. Calvin is a candidate for Counselor at Large. He's a lifelong resident of the city and has over 25 years of experience in municipal finance. Calvin is also celebrating his fabulous 50th reunion with his Gardner High class of 73.
Before you right now, the Oakmont Overlook Marching Spartans, representing the communities of Ashburnham and Westminster. Proudly performing all over New England in competition, festivals, and parades. The ensemble has received numerous awards in marching circuits. They were crowned 2014 New England Scholastic Band Association Award in the U.S. Band Circuit. The Marching Spartans have also had the honor of marching down Main Street, USA, in the Magic Kingdom at Walt Disney's World Resort. The Oakmont Overlook Marching Spartans. Coming up next is the Salvador Tank, a 1966 Arbit military tank that was acquired by Angelo Salvador from the Quonset Air Museum in Rhode Island, where he's a member. The museum closed in 2014, and now the tank is shared and enjoyed by public at events and parades like this one. Riding in the tank is Centennial Committee member Marion Knoll of the Gardner Museum. Okay, I guess the tank broke down, so no tanks to you. And as mentioned, Salvador is one of the many Centennial Parade sponsors and Centennial sponsors over the course of this year.
Next up, rounding the corner, is the Greater Gardner Relay for Life. The relay will be holding its 31st Relay for Life on June 7th and 8th, 2024 at Mount Wachusett Community College. Visit their webpage at the American Cancer Society Relay for more information. They want to wish the City of Gardner congratulations on their 100th anniversary. Members of the Relay Planning Committee and their families are walking with the float. Thank you so much for all your good work.
Congratulations also for the Gardner Relay for Life, which year in and year out is among the top Relay for Lives throughout the country.
Survivors, celebrating life. Celebrate, remember, fight back. Thank you.
Keep up the good work.
Thank you.
Coming up next, we have the Gardner DPW and the Little Big Chair. Recalling Gardner's rich and proud history of world leadership in the furniture manufacturing industry, this float was designed and crafted by Monty-Tech's woodworking and drafting technology program for our 225th parade back in 2010. Using the latest high-tech equipment, craftsmanship, and design, it's a gift to the City of Gardner for many years of support to its school, Monty-Tech.
Decorations were provided by Seaman Paper, who is a really good friend to our city and helpful in so many of the projects that we do.
Next up is the CAC of Gardner. With their home base at 294 Pleasant Street, the Gardner CAC has been serving the needs of the community since 1970. Most know it as a food pantry, but the agency also provides medical transportation, a weekly community meal, dinners on us, Christmas gifts for children, holiday food baskets, and backpacks and school supplies for children K through 12. And the artwork on the float was provided by CAC staff's children. Thank you to the CAC of Gardner.
Next is the Elks Riders on their motorcycles. The Gardner Elks Riders Lodge is always available to support the community in different ways, depending on the needs. You can reach out to the Elks Riders liaison, Mama Love, formerly Jamie from, well, she's still Jamie, from Blue Moon Diner. If you have an event or need extra hands or support, remember, Elks care, Elks share.
Friends of the Gardner Museum float features the soapbox derby car of Stan Hartshorn Sr., which competed in the local competition in Gardner back in 1938, winning first prize. That qualified him to travel to Akron, Ohio, to the National Soapbox Derby, where he finished third overall. His trophies, helmets, and the soapbox car is on that float.
Next is Friends of Gardner Baby Carriage, a flatbed with Gardner-built baby carriages of wicker and rattan. Some of the Gardner factories that were responsible for manufacturing baby carriages were American Fiber, Headstone Union Company, Charles H. Hartshorn Inc., and Haywood Wakefield, among others. We have such a rich history.
Next, we have our Ice Evolution Skating Club, with over 45 skaters from in and around Gardner, with his home rink, the Gardner Veterans Skating Rink, as part of the FMC Gardner Figure Skaters program. The program consists of skaters learning to skate to competing multi-rotational jumps, and the club participates in several competitions and exhibitions every year.
The truck is from Empire Management Company, located at 14 Parker Street, right here to my right. They have a beautiful building and contribute a lot to our city, a 30-year-old local company celebrating the growth of our great city.
Next in this division is the committee to elect Kim Blake for Mayor of Gardner. The mayor floats and marches and volunteer supporters. Kim is a political newcomer to Gardner's political scene, and she's thrown her hat into the ring for the upcoming mayoral election, with the primary to be held here in Gardner on October 10th. Once again, you can't ask for a better day out here in Gardner. What a beautiful day for our 100th Centennial Parade.
Okay, that starts Division 5, led by the Ancient Mariner Fife and Drum Corps of Connecticut. They were founded in 1959 in Guilford, Connecticut. Their portrayal of the common sailor of 1812 brings to life a vivid display of the colonial seaman through an enthusiastic rendition of a musical good time. Built around the wooden fife and the rope tension drum, the Mariners play and sing a variety of traditional music, from up-tempo hornpipes and jigs to work songs used aboard ship. The story of the Ancient Mariner is told. In 2022, the Ancient Mariners joined their brother corps, the Swiss Mariners, in Basel, Switzerland, to celebrate the 50th anniversary with multiple performances through Switzerland. Colby, I hope you love this.
Next is our Gardner Masons, Hope Lodge AF and AM Marchers. Chartered in 1864, the first Master Lodge was Charles Haywood. Hope Lodge has been honored to be part of the community since then, giving back to those in need through funds that are raised by Christmas tree and pumpkin sales. They look forward to being service to the community for many years to come.
Our next float is from Haywood Hospital School-Based Services. Haywood's healthcare school-based programs offers a whole child approach to health and wellness. Programs include support with mental health needs, medical needs, substance abuse treatment, youth mentors, and community resources. Services are available in the Gardner Public School District. Thank you, Haywood Hospital, for all you do.
Why can't every month be October, huh? It's Oktoberfest is the celebrations theme here for the Moon Hill Brewing Company, located at the Gardner Ale House, 74 Parker Street. The Ale House has been downtown Gardner's meeting place for food and fun for the last 17 years. The Gardner Ale House is one of our Centennial celebration sponsors. And the Oktoberfest themed float, letting us know that the Gardner Festival Committee promoting downtown festivals and events, including Gardner's Oktoberfest, which will take place the last Sunday in September of this year. This year's theme, I guess, is Oktoberfest on the moon.
Or Star Wars. Next is Chair City Oil with their oil truck. Chair City Oil is Gardner's only locally owned full-service oil company, located at 525 Main Street for more than 70 years. They pride themselves in heating systems designed, installed, and services. Thank you, Chair City Oil.
And next up, Surround Sound Chapter of Harmony Incorporated. Surround Sound Chapter of Harmony is a barbershop chorus made up of women from Gardner and surrounding communities. Formerly known as the Chair City Pipers, the chorus has been performing a cappella for a long time. This October 5th will mark the 50th anniversary of their chartering as a chorus and Harmony International. Surround Sound Chapter of Harmony. The three-story house on the corner of Union Street and East Broadway in South Gardner, the S.K. Pierce Mansion, was built in 1875 by Sylvester Knowlton Pierce, who owned the S.K. Pierce Chair Factory across the street. The mansion, which was recently featured in Yankee Magazine, was entered into the National Registry of Historic Places in 2022. It's also been featured in several popular ghost hunting television shows and the reality film Dead Hot, The Season of the Witch. It's also become a favorite destination for historians, architecture buffs, and paranormal investigators from around the world.
It's one of Gardner's largest tourist attractions on the weekend, and people come from all over to do tours of the S.K. Pierce Haunted Mansion.
Next, we have the Gardner Girl Scouts. The Girl Scouts offer the best leadership experience for girls in the world, one that's designated with, by, and for girls. Girl Scouting builds girls of courage, confidence, and character who make the world a better place to live.
The Teamsters are here with the 18-wheeler, tractor, trailer, and pickup truck. As the strongest and most democratic labor union in the world, the Teamster Union has been a leader in setting the standard for higher wages, better benefits, and improved working conditions for workers throughout the country for over 100 years. Thank you to the Teamsters.
Next up in Division 5, Elizabeth Kaczynskis and the committee to elect Lizzie as City Council President. Lizzie is the City Council President in Gardner, would like to wish the city and all of her fellow Wildcats a very happy City Centennial celebration. Council President Kaczynskis is one of our Centennial celebration sponsors.
Kicking off Division 6 is the Great American Marching Band. Hailing from East Windsor, Connecticut, the 12-member Great American Marching Band is made up of U.S. military veterans who are professional musicians.
And now members of the First Bible Baptist Church, Independent Baptist Church of Gardner, located at 7 Church Street in Gardner, where the Word of God is the final authority. Bible study is held on Sundays at 9:45 a.m. with the worship service to follow at 10:45. Prayer and Bible study are also held on Wednesday nights at 6:30.
Next up is Sanctuary Ministry Center. Sanctuary Ministry Center and Faith Lutheran Church are 2 churches that work together in unity on Green Street in Gardner. Recently, they teamed up to sponsor Table Talks, a free meal on Wednesday night, and the theme of their flow is unity. Here's one that's near and dear to me, Boys and Girls Club of Gardner. Located at 160 Elm Street in Gardner, the former Elm Street School, or if you're old, it was the former Gardner High School. The mission of the Boys and Girls Club is to inspire and enable all young people, especially those who need us most, to reach their full potential as productive, responsible, and caring citizens. Boys and Girls Club provides safe places where kids can be themselves and participate in fun programs that build their skills for school, the workforce, and life.
Our snowy Subaru float from Gardner Auto Mart. Gardner Auto Mart is the place to go when you find your car no good in the snow. With all-wheel drive, you'll always succeed. Gardner Auto Mart is a family-owned and family-friendly neighborhood used car dealership located at 182 West Street next to the Gardner VFW. It's open 7 days a week for customer service.
Next, we have Triple T Family Farm horse-drawn carriage with princesses. Why wasn't I invited to ride in that? Our princess is Diane Haley. Triple T was here at Christmas. You may remember we took rides around the city. It was a beautiful experience. We're happy to have them back. Happy to have Cinderella and Belle with us today. I feel a little bit like I'm on Main Street in Disney. Anyway, this is the happiest place in the world.
And now here from Mount Wachusett Community College, the Student Government Association, along with other student organizations, students are the heart of MWCC and enjoy a wide variety of activities and student organizations, along with a wide range of academic programs. The Mount will be celebrating its 50th anniversary at its Green Street location next year.
Next is another downtown Gardner business, Happy Trails Natural Food. Their float is called Bumblebees. Happy Trails is at 43 Parker Street and are celebrating 45 years in business. Veteran-owned since 1978. Come visit them for your natural health supplements, as well as bulk herbs, spices and teas, and natural skincare products. They also have a beautiful, beautiful gift shop. Thank you, Happy Trails.
Our next entrant is the committee to elect Peter Durant for State Senate. State Representative Peter Durant is running for State Senate in a special election this fall. Having grown up in Spencer, Peter has always been a friend and advocate for the area over the past 12 years and looks forward to continuing that advocacy as your next state senator.
Community Health Connections is next up. They're here to take care of all health needs. With 5 locations, including Gardner, Fitchburg, Leominster, CHC provides urgent care, primary and family care, dental services, behavioral health, and specialty services like optometry. Community Health Connections is one of our Centennial sponsors. Thank you for being here and serving our communities.
Next up, we have a 1930 Model A antique pickup truck, which has been provided by Joe Croto and driven today by his grandson, Nick Millette.
Nice car. Last minute, nice car. Nice to have you.
Next up is the committee to elect Mayor Michael Nicholson. Mayor Nicholson has served as mayor of our great city for the past 3 years and has overseen a large amount of progress, moving our city out of the pandemic to investing in our infrastructure opening our new elementary school, supporting our music and athletic programs, and revitalizing our downtown. Mayor Nicholson has certainly hit the ground running, and today, marching. There's new life and feel in the city, and Mayor Nicholson has played a large role in that. He's here today to congratulate Gardner on his 100th anniversary and to ask your support and vote in the upcoming elections. Nicholson for Gardner. Mayor Nicholson is one of our Centennial celebration sponsors. Rounding the corner here to Parker Street is someone who's given countless hours to the preparation and celebration of this Gardner Centennial. The Centennial Celebration Chairman, Brad Heglin, who did a phenomenal job putting all of this together. Brad chaired a very active and dedicated community and put in the countless hours. And Brad is carrying the flag of Gardner, which designates it as becoming a town in 1785 and a city 100 years ago in 1923.
Behind Brad is our final division, Division 7, the UMass Amherst Minuteman Marching Band, the largest collegiate marching band in the Northeast, the only band in New England to have received the Sudler Trophy. They've marched in the Rose Parade, Macy's Thanksgiving Parade, 3 presidential inaugural parades, and here they are today in our little town. Marching band director is Tim Anderson. 2023 is the 150th anniversary of the Minuteman Marching Band. In that time, the power and class of New England became a point of pride for not just UMass, but for the Commonwealth of Massachusetts. They are honored to be in Gardner, and Mayor Mike Nicholson is a proud alumnus and former drum major. Enjoy the band. Let's hear it for the UMass Marching Band.
And if you like what you see and hear, please be up at Gardner High School's Watkins Field at 3 o'clock as the UMass marching band will be making a performance there this afternoon.
This concludes our parade. You will see the 8 chartered buses that the band came in on, and then the street sweepers from DPW, and shortly after that, we'll open up the street. We hope you have enjoyed your time with us as much as we have enjoyed our time with you. Glory to Gardner.
And once again, thank you to all of our Centennial sponsors who have helped make this possible today. So again, if you'd like to see and hear more of the UMass Minuteman Marching Band, be up at Watkins Field at approximately 3 o'clock this afternoon for their band performance.
Also performing at Watkins Field will be the Gardner High School Band. Glory to Gardner!
We'd like to